In this part, I just want to talk about the mods I'm using, and some of the mods I want to get your opinion on, and some I might use in the future after I play the game a bit. And first I'll start with the simple mods that I think pretty much everyone installs as like their first mods that they install. Well, before the mods, there's actually an official free DLC called High Resolution Patch or something from Bethesda. And so I saw that on the Steam page. I was like, huh, let me install that. And I looked on the Nexus site, and there's actually a unofficial high resolution patch for that free DLC. So I guess there's some bugs in there somewhere. So I got that, and I have the unofficial Skyrim Legendary Edition patch, which, you know, just fixes bugs and stuff. I also got a mod called Jaxonz named save, which if I hit F8, I can save my game with any name I want. So like if I want to name it, you know, after the intro or whatever, I could do that. I hit enter, and now it's saved. I have a save called after the intro. So yeah, I don't know why they don't let you name your saves anymore in the vanilla game, but whatever. And of course, all PC gamers need a PC user interface for their games, so I got SkyUI. So if we open my inventory here, you'll see it's a little more PC friendly, mouse and keyboard friendly, I guess I should say. Whereas the vanilla game has more consoleized UI, like Oblivion did. I also got the smaller cursor. I think it's the smaller cursor. It's hard to tell because the cursor looks the same, but it's supposed to be smaller than the vanilla game. I also have a quality world map with roads mod. So if I open the map, normally you won't see the roads on the map, and I think that's pretty dumb because it's hard to tell where you are in the map in the vanilla game. But with the roads added, it's better, I think. If you know of a better map to get, let me know. This was like, I think the most endorsed one I saw on the site, so I just grabbed it. And then what else do I got? Oh yeah, I got a bunch of other UI stuff. So I have iActivate, which basically all that mod does is gets rid of the when you hover over stuff, it'll say like press E to use. I can't find anything though. Oh, I know. I'll just drop something. Here we go. Drop a sword. In first person. So normally when you hover over stuff, there'll be a big E button or whatever your pickup button is right next to the text. All iActivate does is just take that out. I mean, it does some other stuff, but that's all I've made it do. I also have a mod called iHUD, or Immersive HUD, which basically gets rid of the HUD when you're not using it. So as you can see, my screen has like no HUD on it. There's no HP bar or anything. It's just, I can see everything clearly. It's really nice. I used a similar mod for Fallout, and if I actually start using my stamina, it'll pop up, see? And the cursor in the middle pops up if I start attacking and stuff. But if I put everything away and my stamina is 100%, then eventually that'll go away. And then another HUD mod I have is called moreHUD. Where'd that sword go? Oh, there it is. So like when I hover over stuff, it'll give me more information on the item. So like you'll see on the bottom right, there's damage, carry weight, gold, etc. Alright, so another mod I have for the UI is one called Quick Loot, which basically I can't show you here, but I guess I'll put a screenshot up. It basically makes the loot like Fallout 4, where if you see a chest or something and you put your cursor on it, then you can see everything inside and you can loot it like quickly without having to go into the normal loot mode. Another mod is called Categorized favorites menu. So if I open my favorites, you'll see, I guess, I don't know what the vanilla one looks like, but this one has categories for each of your favorites. So I'll have weapons here, apparel here, other, etc, etc. I have a couple of mods for when you talk to people. One is called Better MessageBox Controls, which lets you use the keyboard a bit more for picking choices on dialogue to say to people, I guess. And I have another one called No Pause Between Lines, which makes it so, you know that weird delay sometimes when NPCs speak and then they pause for a bit and then they say their next line. Well, it takes away that pause, so they speak more naturally and quicker. The next mods I have are for clothing. Cloaks of Skyrim, which basically adds more cloaks and capes and stuff. And another mod called Winter is Coming, which adds more cloaks and stuff, except from Game of Thrones, basically. The next mod is called Guards, Attack Thugs, Assassins, and More. Basically, it does what it says. Apparently in the vanilla game, if you like get attacked by a thug or assassin and you run to the guards, they won't do anything, which sounds really stupid to me. So this mod just fixes that and makes guards be guards. I got a bunch of immersive mods, some little, some bigger, but for example one would be the enhanced camera mod, which basically gives you a body in first person. So normally you would look down and you see nothing, but except maybe a shadow. But in this one you actually have a body. Look, I can crouch. I can pull out my weapon and still see my feet. I got the footprints mod, because apparently in the vanilla game there's no footprints in the snow, and this one just adds footprints. Another minor change is a mod called Smooth Blades Draw and Cheat. So basically when you take out your weapon and put it away, it makes a sound, right? The vanilla sound sounded very metallic, as if you were like scratching two knives together or something. So this one just makes it more realistic, a little more quiet. And it also makes it so when you sneak, it's even more quiet. And when you're sneaking and you attack, your guy doesn't like yell out all loudly like he does when he's normally attacking. So you can actually be sneaky, or sound sneaky. So the next immersion mod is called Wet and Cold, which basically, it does a bunch of stuff actually. Let me see if I can find a time where it's snowing. But it basically, when it's raining, for example, the NPCs will go, you know, take cover in their houses or under shelter, I guess. You know, they'll act realistic when it's raining or snowing and stuff. They might change clothes to wear more, something that'll cover them up more. And also, I have this Get Snowy mod, which makes it when there's like a blizzard, the snow will actually be on your body. Next mod is called Wearable Lanterns. Basically, anyone who's played Dragon's Dogma, it's kind of like that, where you could put a lantern on your belt and run around with light instead of having to hold it in your hands. Just a nice little change. PC head tracking and voice type mod, which lets your character actually look at people who's talking, you know, move his head. And I think you could actually have voices in it. Let me see. Yeah, it actually lets you say stuff too. So if I set a button, let me see, I don't know which buttons are used in this game, but let's say that button for hello, this button for goodbye. Random, I wonder what that does. Oh, I could choose my voice type too. Can I get the example? I don't know. Let's check it out. I never tried this.
Make it quick. Until next time.
Oh, that's cool. My mouth moves too.
Make it quick.
So this is the default hello,
Make it quick.
and this is default goodbye.
Until next time.
I got a bunch of item mods. I got uniques, lore weapon expansions, immersive weapons, and heavy armory. So that's 4 mods for just unique items, weapons. Because, you know, I don't want to look at the same type of dagger skin over and over. I want to actually find a weapon and have it look cool. Be like excited to find new equipment. And the same thing with creatures and enemies. I got a bunch of mods to add new NPCs. I have one called Skyrim Immersive Creatures, which just adds a bunch of monsters. I did like the same thing when I played Fallout 3. Because who wants to see the same skeleton over and over again? We want to see like a bunch of different unique types of skeletons and all that type of crap. I have one called Adventures and Travelers, which basically just adds a lot of NPCs traveling the world, like this guy. Maybe he's one. Let's find out. Oh, it's a woman. Yeah, so here's one, a traveler. And along with that mod, I got a mod called Real Names. So normally she would just be called Traveler, right? But now she has, with the Real Names mod, it gives everyone with a generic name, it gives them actual names. So like now she's Larissa Riverthorn. So if I go to my mod configuration for Real Names, normally it doesn't say Traveler at all, but I turned it on so it still shows the generic name next to it. So that I know that they're actually travelers. The mod adds travelers, adventurers, and Dovahkiins, which are basically like me. They could use shouts. I guess they're like dragon hunters, really. The default is 6, but I made it 2, and I also made them enemies because I thought it'd be more interesting if they don't like me. Normally it's on friendly or neutral, but I thought it'd be interesting to have like just 2 other Dovahkiins in the world that will attack me on sight. I actually ran into one and he just yelled at me and like I just froze on the ground forever. The mod also adds robbers and Khajiit adventurers, and you can set them to whatever you want them, friendly, neutral, enemies. Adventurers default is friends. I kept it friends. Robbers default was neutral, but I figured if they're robbers, wouldn't they be like attacking me? So I made them enemies. And Dovahkiins, like I said, is normally friendly, but I made them enemies just to make things interesting if I run into them. And travelers are neutral. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things to do with this mod. You can also set the number of them. I just left them on default for the most part. The reason I got this mod in the first place is because normally in like Fallout or the Oblivion and stuff, the roads and the world just feels so empty. And this helps populate the world and make it feel more alive. The next mod is called Obus, Organized Bandits, which adds basically the same thing that Immersive Creatures does for monsters. This one does for bandits. It adds a whole bunch of different types of bandits, probably different groups of bandits. I got a similar mod for Fallout 3 and I thought it was great. You know, you can never have too many creatures or different types of creatures and different looking NPCs and stuff. It just all adds to the world in my opinion. The one graphic mod I got is a mod called Static Mesh Improvement Mod. I wasn't going to install any graphic mods right away, but this one, once I saw the screenshots for it, it was just too impressive not to install. Cause like it'll take 2D looking chains and stuff and ropes and whatever and turn them into 3D. And it's like, wow, that looks amazing. The next mod I got is called Dead Body Collision Fix. Basically, when you kill something and you walk into their body, You just walk right through it. But this mod makes it so they actually have collision, and you could like jump on top of dead bodies and stuff. It's really cool. Although I'm afraid maybe it'll break the game in some parts. I don't know. We'll have to see. The next mod is called Non-Essential Children, which basically just makes kids killable. I got this mod not because I want to go around killing kids or anything, but I think it'll be dumb if like a dragon attacks a city and then it kills everyone except you just see like a bunch of invincible kids still alive. Now I want to talk about some of the mods that might be a little controversial because they changed the game so much. And the first mod is the big one. It's called permazones, which basically makes the level scaling almost non-existent in this game. Because the thing I hated the most about Oblivion is that whenever you level up, the enemies level with you. So you actually get weaker as you get higher level. And it really sucked the last half of the game where enemies were just bullet sponges. You know, it took forever to kill enemies, and I couldn't wait to finish the game at that point because it was a real drag fighting anything. It was just an annoyance, a chore, if you will. And it also made the game too easy because like everything matched my level, so I didn't really have hard fights, I just had frustrating fights. But now, the world does not scale with me. So in vanilla, if I would like say travel all the way over here, whatever enemies there is gonna match my level. If I travel here, same thing. But with the mod, let's say I go over here, this area might be level 30 through 50, and over here it might be like level 40 through 80 or something, you know. Everything is different levels. So I will actually have a challenge while exploring the world. It will actually make me play smarter too, you know, like I'll have to use sneak and sneak up on things, you know, trying to get an advantage for the first attack and stuff. It'll make you more wary of the enemy instead of just being like, oh, there's an enemy, I'm gonna go kill it real quick with no challenge. Now a good mod that supposedly goes well with the permazones mod is a mod called high level enemies. And this mod basically adds more high level enemies to the game. Like instead of just running into trolls, there'll be like a mature troll, or instead of just vampires, there'll be master vampires, stuff like that. The next mod is called moreHUD 4E edition. What this basically does is it takes out the higher level equipment that you might randomly find on a corpse, and it takes them and puts them places scattered throughout the world, and places that make sense. So like if I wanted a Dwemer item, I would have to go in a Dwemer ruins or something. If I wanted like orcish armor, I would have to fight, you know, find some orcs. It makes it more like a Morrowind loot system instead of just finding anything on anything I kill. And along with that mod, I got another loot mod called Scarcity, which makes there less loot overall. So not only is it going to be hard to find the high level loot, there's going to be less of it. So I'm really making this game challenging for myself. Now with this character, I wanted to make him like this asshole thief assassin type of character that uses light armor and light weapons like knives. And so I figured if I'm going to use a knife, I might as well dual wield, right? So I used 2 knives. Unfortunately, in my combat tests with the knives, dual wielding just seemed really crappy. So I read more about it, and apparently it gets pretty buff later on once you get more perks and stuff. You can get perks that make you attack real fast. But I don't like not being able to block. So I tried another mod called Dual Wield Pairing, which adds block to dual wielding. So if I hit the right mouse button, you can see I can block while dual wielding. And that's really all I wanted. You could do this in Elder Scrolls Online, so I don't know why you can't do it in Skyrim. But I don't know, maybe that would make dual wielding too cheap. You guys let me know. Do you think dual wield should have block? because the thing I sacrificed for blocking is being able to attack with my left arm. So I could only attack with my right arm. I just block with the left. Now there's another version of this mod that will let me attack with my left hand and use block with a different button, but I like to block with the right mouse button, so I chose this version. If I hold block and hit the attack, I could do this attack with my left arm. But other than that, I can only attack with my right. So I think it's pretty fair. I can still do the if I hit both mouse buttons, I could do the dual wield attack. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that change. If you think it's too cheap, I'll just use one knife instead. Okay, and my final possibly controversial mod is alternate crafting system. I don't want to be a blacksmith. That's the name of it. Basically, I never planned for this character to do blacksmithing, so I saw this mod and I thought it was a pretty interesting idea where I could go to an NPC blacksmith and have them make stuff for me. Of course, you know, it'll cost a lot of money and it'll take time, and only certain crafters can craft certain things, but it might be too cheap because I could probably make really good stuff. So I don't know. I just don't want to invest time into blacksmithing when I'm like a thief that's just going to use light armor and knives. Okay, now I want to talk about the mods that I'm either going to install later after I played the game quite a bit, or mods that I'm not sure if I should install or not, and I want your opinion on them. For example, a mod called Run for Your Lives. So apparently if a dragon attacks a town, the NPCs will just start fighting it. I guess, I don't know. This is what I read. I haven't seen it in action, you know, I haven't played this game enough. But with the mod, they actually act as if the dragon's attacking town, and they'll run away, run into their houses and stuff, you know, instead of just all being like, oh, let's attack this dragon. So if you think that's a good mod to add, I think it sounds pretty good to me, but I want to see it in action first. Or I want to see the vanilla version of what NPCs do when a dragon comes first before I install it. There's another mod called No Spinning Death Animations. So I guess in this game when you kill people, they do a little twirl before they die. And I guess that's annoying. I haven't killed enough people to notice the twirl. But I remember in Oblivion, when you kill something, they just like ragdoll down. And I always like that. So I'm thinking of getting this No Spinning Death Animations, so that when I kill people, they'll just ragdoll and fall down instead of do their little spin animation and then fall down. The next mod is called Fantasy Soundtrack Project, and there's also Fantasy Soundtrack Project for combat music as well. So it just adds a whole bunch of fantasy music. So I think that'll be good after I get sick of the vanilla music. I haven't played the game enough to get sick of the vanilla music, so I'm just waiting to install that one. And finally is just all the graphics mods, the weather mods, lighting, etc. All those type of mods I haven't messed with yet because I haven't played the vanilla game enough. So once I get some hours in this game and get sick of the vanilla textures and stuff, I'll probably look into those mods more. I have some bookmarked, and yeah. That's about it. Just let me know what your favorite graphic mod or weather mod or etc. is, and I'll check it out. Oh look, someone's trying to kill me. Hi. Who are you? A robber.
I'll see you burn.
I'll see you burn. Let's see it. Let's see if it's a really high. Oh, wait a minute. I have a bow, don't I? I'll just use your stupid pathfinding against you. Haha. Oh, she's running away. Oh my god, she ran away. Let's take cover. Am I gonna fall into her trap? Oh, game froze for a second. Alright. Block. Oh, where's my other knife? Boom. Aha. Oh, there's my quick loot. As you can see, I could scroll through the items and quick loot them just like Fallout 4. It's pretty cool. Thin knapsack. Oh, look at that. Whenever I block, her the backpack goes away. But yeah, that's it for my mod video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, see you next time.
Safe travels.